economy is the strongest it has ever been. The stock market will be way up again today. American satisfaction is at the highest level ever recorded. Can you imagine? And that's from Gallup, no friend of mine. Can you imagine? And that's from Gallup, no friend of mine.
That Gallup poll President Trump is touting has American satisfaction at 90%. That is an all-time high, along with the stock market. And
Friend of mine.
That Gallup poll President Trump is touting has American satisfaction at 90%. That is an all-time high, along with the stock market. And the question is, start with you. The numbers this week from Gallup for President Trump and the country, mind-boggling. Records across the board.
Isn't it amazing, Charles? 90% of Americans satisfied with their personal life. I have to say, I'm a single lady that just moved to New York. It's a tough dating city. I might be in that 10%. But on the whole, consumer confidence is at nearly a record high. Unemployment is at a 50-year low. The bottom 40% of workers are seeing the highest wage gains. They're doing even better than those at the top. So Americans do have a lot to feel good about. And when they see the Democrats who are constantly angry, who can't even admit that this is a great economy, as we've seen every Democratic presidential contender say, I think Donald Trump is looking pretty good going to November. Wouldn't you say?
Kristen, it wasn't just personal life. Trump's ratings at an all-time high, 49%. GOP is at 51%, highest in 15 years. Are you better off now? Record high. Will you be better off next year? Record high. Employees are more engaged. Record high. The numbers go on and on. As a Democratic strategist, what do you think? How do you combat that?
Well, I think that as somebody who works with a lot of members in the House and Senate, you have to look at things locally. So, when the economy is doing well and the economy is doing well, people tend to be happy, and they tend to reelect the sitting president. So I think that some people have issues with the president and the way he deals with things personally. So it might be a little bit different here. But I think that the members, particularly who are running alongside him or down ballot from him, have to look at issues like healthcare, jobs, the economy, which a lot of these members have continued to do. A lot of them have not gone home and been focused on impeachment. They've stayed talking about the issues that a lot of the constituents can still want to talk about.
Yeah, Giano, and this has been the debate for a long time. Are you offended by a tweet, but you have a job, or you just got a raise that you hadn't gotten in 10 years?
Right.
Which one of those ultimately wins out when you step into the voting booth?
Pocketbook always wins, and let's be honest, money doesn't buy happiness, but it's a darn good down payment. When we think about the fact that over 4 million Americans have been lifted off of food stamps, over the 7 million jobs created under this president, we think about the fact that under the Obama administration, there was 11 times under the Obama administration that African American unemployment was at 16% or exceeded it. Now we're talking about the lowest numbers ever recorded for African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, women at a 70-plus year low. These are things that are so significant that it's changing the way people feel. And that was one of the indicators of the Gallup poll, which showed that people feel better because of how they're doing economically. This president has been beating record after record, which I think for anybody who's looking to run against the Democratic Party, anyone, that's going to be very hard to combat, especially considering the fact that a lot of those folks like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and the like are running on raising your taxes and wealth redistribution. This is not going to work. But I do also caution my fellow conservatives that we have to recognize that we got to speak up, we got to go to the polls, we have to vote, because Democrats have shown us that they'll do anything to win an election, including impeaching the president.
Kelly Jane, I reference President Trump being at an all-time high in the Gallup poll, but it is still a 49 number. Some folks are wondering, with all of these things going so great, what's holding him back? Why isn't he at 55, 60? Is that something that the White